They put nails in them to make measurements, so they're so that you'll edit that out, right?
This time we can be so free, turn our dreams into reality. There's a reason we can never let it end. We're not stopping now.
After a comfortable night sleeping on the overnight ferry from Patras, Greece to Bari, Italy, we entered the 16th country of our adventures. We weren't sure what to expect of the port town, but it turned out to be a unique spot to visit. It has 4 major areas, all of which offer something unique. We walked through the modern shopping street on our way to our apartment. Our apartment had a cute courtyard and was tucked on the top floor through a little door. Bari has a history dating back to the ancient Greek and Roman times. The old city is a maze of narrow streets tucked into a walled fortress with a basilica from the 11th century. We had fun exploring, getting lost, and then finding some street food.
This is fried octopus from Don Fish.
Non fish.
Some salmon and potato poppers.
Also from Don Fish.
Some fried cod.
Also from Don Fish.
It's a local specialty. It's a slab of, we'll get a new one here, slab of cornmeal that has been sliced and chopped and sent in some hot oil and heavily salted. So it's greasy, salty cornmeal. Very nice.
Salty.
Unfortunately, we had just one night in Bari and would love to return some other time. We hopped a train to our next destination and started to see glimpses of the Italian countryside and some rolling hills. We saw lots of vineyards as the terrain changed. Our stop for the night was a town called Caserta, known for its royal palace, home of the kings of Naples. This place was unbelievable. The backyard is 2.4 kilometers long. There is a long canal running from the neighboring hill and water source all the way to the palace. We wandered the gardens first, finding a couple of geocaches and many statues of Roman gods.
Quante cose abbiamo detto sospirando in quell'angolo più bello del mondo. Quante volte ho sussurrato amorettamo. Buonasera.
There are 1,200 rooms in the palace. We were able to walk through a number of royal apartments with some original decor. The ceilings were our favorite part. Many painted to look three-dimensional. It was spectacular. We saw a room where politics would be discussed, one where guests were entertained, one where the king would work or read, a bedroom and his throne. But the most detailed item was the nativity scene, showing an entire village.
Quante cose abbiamo detto sospirando in quell'angolo più bello del mondo.
Hey, that's one, but I think the syllables, so I had to kind of go like.
Next stop was Atrani on the Amalfi Coast. But to get there, we had to take a train to Salerno and then take a bus to Atrani. It was pouring rain and was very misty, so our views of the coast were not great. Mum was really bummed since she had never been here before and was really wanting to see the views. When we arrived, we had to wind our way up tight alleys and stairways. We got soaked. Our rental unit was glorious and had beautiful views.
So yeah, we just arrived in Atrani, and yeah, this is our house. Bedroom. And then over here we have the most
Adorable beach themed bedroom you will ever see. The kitchen / dining room / living rooms.
Tutto il mio mondo comincia da te, finisce con te. Nessuno, ti giuro, nessuno, nemmeno i destini.
When the rain let up, we ventured out to see the town and walked around the cliff's edge to reach the town of Amalfi.
L'eternità.
Dad got drenched by a massive wave which hit the cliff at just the wrong moment.
Here we have Simon, who has just experienced a very exciting opportunity. Tell us about what happened, Simon.
Well, we were just walking down the road, and then a big wave came up and splashed over the railing, and it went like 2 feet higher than me, and it splashed all the way down me, and now I'm dripping.
Yes, so now Simon is drenched.
Quest'amore si illuminerà l'eternità.
As it was still Christmas holidays, many shops were closed. We found some excellent pizza and pasta for dinner. The towns were all alight with Christmas lights. So beautiful.
You get like this radiation of cheese and olives.
Posso parlare perché quest'amore che il cielo ci dà da sempre vivrà.
The next day, we tried to climb up to the top of the cliff to reach the church. It was a long climb through twisty and steep paths, and when we reached the top, the gate to the church was locked.
La gioia infinita che sento con te, solo con te.
Okay, we are trying to make it to the church up there on the cliff. So far, we've had to maneuver through town, through all the little alleys, up the staircases, past the orchards. So it's been quite a climb.
Nessuno, ti giuro, nessuno.
What happened when we got up here, Molly?
Ci può separare.
It was closed.
It was closed.
It was closed.
It was closed.
We went up to that white church up there, and on our way down, we counted the stairs, and I came up with 522 stairs from the church down to the beach, which is where we're standing right now. I came with 518. So yes, 518.
Trani, which is a little fishing village. And on their seashore, they have these wonderful little tile mosaics. Seem to tell a little bit of story of the town. A big church on the cliffside. And throughout the whole village, fishing is definitely the main source of income in this town.
We finished the day relaxing and enjoying our place on the coast. Our next destination was Pompeii, but we first had to wind our way along the rest of the coast, then up over the high ground and down to Sorrento.
We left Trani and took a bus to here at Amalfi. Next, we're going to take a bus to Salerno. Then we're going to take a train to Pompeii, where we're going next.
The views were incredible, and the bus driver's skills were impressive. We waited until the next morning to visit the Pompeii site in order to have lots of time to explore. The entire site is massive, 12 kilometers square, full of streets, half-erected walls, and remnants of the well-preserved city which was buried by volcanic ash almost 2,000 years ago.
So we're looking at a statue of a centaur who looks to just have killed someone and swallowed his head.
We are touring the House of Veti in Pompeii, and it's undergone a 20-year restoration, and they opened it 2 days ago. So we're really lucky to get a chance to tour what is considered the most famous and one of the richest houses in Pompeii.
We used an app to guide us to notable spots such as market stalls, bakeries, and personal homes with courtyards. We learned that the large stones blocking the road at various intervals are actually crosswalks, spaced to allow carts through and to ensure pedestrians don't have to walk in the sewage and rainwater that runs down the roads. We were pretty pooped after exploring for 3 hours. We grabbed lunch and caught our train to our next stop, Rome.
We just arrived in Rome from a train from Naples, and so this is the tour of our house. Over here, there's like a...
Dad claims that the best way to experience Rome is at night. Something about the ambiance, the lights, the cobble streets. We used our first night to see the Colosseum all lit up. It was bigger than we expected. The next day, we went straight to Vatican City to St. Peter's Square, where we grabbed some lunch and got in line to see the Basilica.
Or in Vatican City, adventure number 17. And we're having lunch.
It was unbelievable. The size, the grandness, the opulence. It's hard to comprehend how all of this was constructed back in 1506, replacing a building from the 4th century.
Ora son solo a ricordare e vorrei poterti dire guarda che luna.
We climbed up the cupola and saw tile mosaics of saints.
The top.
The cupola. Tippy.
At the very top, through the tight stairwells, we got amazing views of Rome and Vatican City from the tallest structure in the ancient city.
I'm scared. Me too. This is real. Should that be concerning? This is really small, actually.
Here, put your back against the wall like me.
Oh, where it's telling me.
Perché son solo a
Wow. This is actually kind of amazing.
guarda che
Hi. We are in St. Peter's Square, and we explored the St. Peter's Basilica. Then we climbed to the top of the dome that you see over there. And then we came back down, and I liked being at the top of the dome and just seeing all of Rome.
So all around the square they have these like statues of all the saints, and on the inside there was the saint of photographers and laundry workers, apparently.
Our plan for the rest of the day was to wander our way home via a few key spots, including stopping for some gelato. We clocked 12.5 kilometers of walking. What a day.
da questa notte senza te dovrò restare.
Having our first gelato of Italy. I got banana and dark chocolate.
Molly, what are you having?
Apple cinnamon raspberry, but it's almost gone. It's so sad. I'm pretty much done for, but I had milk chocolate and cinnamon. We are at the Trevi Fountain, and apparently it's good luck to chuck a coin with your right hand over your left shoulder.
Okay.
A ricordare e vorrei poterti dire guarda che luna, guarda che mare.
So we're just looking for dinner near the Trevi Fountain. I googled the best street food in Rome, and apparently porchetta sandwiches, which is a ham sandwich, came up. So I found a great spot, and it is delicious.
Dad booked us a family cooking lesson the next morning with Fiamma, our super fun chef. She helped us make 2 types of pasta and tiramisu, or Fiamma misu as she called it. First, we made the pasta dough. One was just flour and water, and the other was flour, egg, and water. We kneaded the dough with our hands until Fiamma approved of the consistency. Dad had the best dough.
Make pasta at home. He has to be the pasta chef. Yeah, I'm so sorry. You have just to stay seated on the couch with a glass of wine if you want.
Tiramisu is a layered dessert with cream, ladyfinger cookies dipped in coffee, and some cocoa. They had to sit in the fridge to set.
Because the recipe is mine, and so it's called tiramisu.
We're soaking ladyfingers in coffee and then putting them on top.
Next, we made the pasta with the dough we'd prepared. Cavatelli looks like a seashell. We formed each shell by pulling a piece of dough over a ridged piece of wood.
I really suggest you to take your knife like this. What I mean, put your index here, and then the movement that you have to do is like when you spread butter on the toast. What I mean, blade of your knife at the beginning of the pasta. Channel on YouTube. I'm playing the guitar, and I have my brother and my twin cousin. The pasta from the other side. In the flour again. We have to do it for 3 times. Okay.
Tagliatelle looks like fettuccine, but is slightly thicker and made with a different dough.
So this is how you make pasta. You have to chop it in half, and then take one of its half and put it on, and then sprinkle some flour on it, and then roll it.
Homemade pasta. It's really holy pasta.
Bravi. I'm sure that these ones are Eric one.
Fiamma cooked our pasta and served them in tasty sauces. So good.
It's so good, but it gets all in my face. Delicious.
We almost didn't have any room for the tiramisu.
So we're having homemade tiramisu, and I got a little bit of everything. It is really delicious. Oh my god.
Tu sei per me una cara bambina.
The next day, we went to a huge outdoor street market.
Per il mio cuore splende il tuo sorriso sul dolce tuo bel viso e gli occhi tuoi sinceri
We were feeling pretty tired from many days of walking, but decided that we did really want to go into the Colosseum. We found a spot on one of the final guided tours for the day.
più bella del mondo è un amore profondo mi lega a te.
It was a quick walk through, but we got to stand on the floor and felt what it would have been like for the gladiators.
Tu sei per me.
Our next destination was Florence, and the train ride was quite lovely. It was raining and cold, but our Airbnb was super nice.
So this is our hotel in Florence. We just arrived here by train, and we walked all the way to the hotel. Over here we have the Molly's bed, the TV. Over there we have our small but useful kitchen. And here is main classroom.
Mi lega a te.
We attempted one of our Questo app-based tours, but got pretty tired pretty quickly. It's apparent that Florence is beautiful, and we found some great shops to explore.
Tu sei per me.
The next day, we went to the Accademia Gallery to see Renaissance art, some really interesting musical instruments, and Michelangelo's David, which was as impressive as we'd imagined.
È un amore profondo, mi lega a te, tu sei per me.
Another interesting part of the collection was the bust room, where we learned about how sculptors would create models and use nails to make measurements that would help them be successful in their final carvings.
All these statues have little holes in them. These are plaster casts, so they're basically the models for the real statues carved out of marble. They put nails in them to make measurements, so the real ones were absolutely perfect.
Sul dolce tuo bel viso e gli occhi tuoi sinceri.
When we had enough of the art, we found some gelato which went down well, even on a chilly day.
So we went to the National Gallery of Art, and then we walked over here and we got some gelato, and now we're just in this square, like eating it and wandering. I have coffee cream and lemon.
Walking the streets through the older part of town and weaving our way to the river was quite pleasant despite the weather. There are many smaller art galleries and many craft stores. At the Ponte Vecchio, we admired the beautiful gold shops built right on the bridge.
Tu sei per me la più bella del mondo. È un amore profondo.
We headed home, stopping for some focaccia first. We quite enjoyed Florence. It was much quieter and more compact than Rome. The train to Venice was our first high-speed train. Mom saw the speed hit 190 kilometers an hour at one point in the trip. We arrived in Venice and were immediately mesmerized by its unique beauty. Our entire afternoon was spent walking around the city, getting lost, finding our way, and stumbling upon some amazing stores.
Fanno serenate per sospirare amore piano piano, parole rosse per innamorate, ti voglio bene tanto tanto bene, lontana te non posso più campare, la voce una chitarra un po' più dura, è come dolce che sta serenata, a bocca tua si accosta più vicino, e tutta stringa a me più appassionata, con la chitarra e non le voci, con te vicini canta solo.
St. Mark's Square was magnificent.
Non posso più scordarmi te.
We are in Venice, and we just walked to St. Mark's Cathedral. And now we're on the dock, and we're going to catch a boat taxi home.
We're on the boat bus to
Venice to Marina.
The next morning, we caught an early water taxi to the island of Murano. The goal was to watch some glass-blowing demonstrations. We were blown away with the talent of these glass artists.
La voce una chitarra un po' più dura, è come dolce che sta serenata, a bocca tua si accosta più vicino, e tutto la stringa a me più appassionata, con la chitarra e un farile voce, con te vicini canta e so felice. Amore, amore, non posso più scordarmi te.
The decorations that you will see on these items is made using, we call them freckles. Played casually on the clear. That's why we call them freckles pattern. Very traditional. These are patterns made since more than 1,000 years. Sorry, you can from where?
We watched Massimo make a vase, a cat figurine, and a dolphin.
Una sigaretta in bocca, una mano in da sacca e se ne va a smargiarsi per tutta la città. O Sarracino.
We chose a vase to buy that Massimo had made himself. Murano is tiny, but is well known as the home of the best master glass blowers in the world. It is full of studios, stores, and a sense of pride for the traditional craft of working with glass. We headed back to Venice after some lunch. We had an appointment with Kamakana, Venice's oldest mask workshop, to learn about the art and tradition of Venetian masks.
We are at Kamakana, which is a mask decorating place, and we're choosing our masks and then we can paint them, and it's really fun.
Black or pink, purple, any color. Or you can the base white or mask it's ready for design. And you design with any color.
A craftswoman named Veronica explained the mask making process and how to achieve a different paint effects such as blending and ombre. Veronica and her co-workers were getting ready for Carnival by making and painting lots of masks in themes for that year's Carnival celebration.
New brush again. Start with the light. All over the light. And then you...
So I'm going to do like a blue and gold like ombre, top to bottom. And yeah, that's going to be my mask with some gold and blue detailing. And a bit of black.
I'm going to do like a starry sky ombre from really dark navy blue to this nice baby blue. And then I'm going to add lots of twinkling stars in white and gold. It's going to be so pretty.
These masks are all made following the traditional methods of many years ago. We loved how our masks turned out, but they paled in comparison to the many works of art that Veronica made. The next morning, we woke up to sunshine. It was our travel day, but we went for one more walk through the town. Lo and behold, St. Mark's Square was underwater due to rising sea levels and a high tide. The city puts out elevated planks for people to use to cross the square. We didn't stay long and left, shocked at how much of Venice's ancient sites may soon be permanently underwater. Our train ride to Milan was a bit tough, only because of having to split up to find seats, but it was still a memorable ride because the scenery was lovely. We started seeking snow-peaked mountains and valley lakes. The landscape was greener too, and the sky was blue for the first time. We changed trains in Verona, a city where Mum tells us that Romeo and Juliet was said to take place. For our only full day in Milan, we went to the Leonardo III Museum, the world of Leonardo da Vinci. It was really interesting because Leonardo scholars have studied all of his drawings and created prototypes of the inventions that had never been created before. They were on display and we got to learn about them on computers and even try and build some of them. There were also musical instruments that he had invented on display. He was a very interesting creator.
Mi farò prestare un soldino di cielo perché
The museum was located beside the Galleria Vittorio and close to a popular panzerotti spot. We devoured the amazing panzerottis.
So we're gonna get some panzerottis. We're just outside a Leonardo da Vinci museum, which we just looked around, and now we're eating these panzerottis. It's absolutely delicious. It's like a bread, and it has different things inside. Mine's spinach ricotta.
We also walked outside of the Duomo di Milano, which was so detailed and impressively large.
questa piccolissima serenata con un fil di voce si può cantare.
Our train to Zurich left from Milan Central Station, which is the largest train station in Europe. It took us 20 minutes to walk from the entrance to our platform.
La sussurrerà.
Oh, the stairs. That's so cool. So we are on the train to Zurich, and there's a lovely view of the Alps. And we have this lovely train. It's like completely to ourselves. And there's like coat hangers. And we're next to the bathroom. It's super nice.
Grazie, Italy. Thanks for the memories.
The little seaside town of Bari in Italy.
The city of Venice was my favorite. It's just so unique.
I really loved seeing all the ancient structures of Pompeii. Learning how to make pasta and tiramisu.
Glass blowing demonstrations and mask making in Venice.